Right, afternoon YouTube, hope we're all well. So I'm going to do a quick little review of this rucksack that is sitting on my sofa. It's not going to be an in-depth dive because there are more than enough of those videos on YouTube about this particular style of ruck. What I'm going to do is it'll be the mods I've done to it. So the rucksack in question is the US Marine Corps' current issued rucksack. It's a two-part system. It's called the FILBE, F-I-L-B-E. So that's Family of Improved Load Bearing Equipment. Now it comes with an assault pack that clips onto the top and some pouches that go around the outside of the rucksack. So what you're looking at is a 500D main bag with reinforcements of 1000D. Yeah, and it's got a section zips in the bottom, so it's got a sleeping bag compartment at the bottom and then your main kit storage above it. If you don't want to use the divider, you can just leave it out. You can just unzip it and let it hang down. Yeah. So literage of the rucksack complete in one go is 81 litres with no pouches on it. If you put the divider in it, yeah, and use it with a sleeping bag compartment at the bottom, it then works out to be 26 litres for the bottom and 55 litres for the top. So that gives you 81 litres just for the rucksack on its own as you're looking at it now. If you add the sustainment pouches and the hydration pouches, which is 4 pouches, that brings it up to 103 litres. Yeah, and then if you add the assault pack to it, which clips onto the top, that's another 37 litres. So that brings you up to a grand total of 140 litres, yeah, for this system. So that's how the Marine Corps have it at the minute. Now these are originally Coyote Brown. Stay Mental, who gifted me this last September, dyed it himself. So we've got this lovely olive green, PLCE green FILBE, which is great. And basically what he did was he did a little pre-wash with no detergent in the washing machine. Yeah, and this is including the straps. And then he used a complete bottle of RIT dark green dye, yeah, on a 90-degree wash. Let it run the entire cycle, and then he rinsed it off in another wash, and then let it dry naturally. And what you ended up with is this. So that's how I got hold of it. I was gifted it at the prepper meet last year. I basically said to anybody, has anybody got one? I want to have a look at one. I'm interested in getting an older one. So, you know, I was completely blown away by Mental's act of kindness, and apparently it's because he'd bought a new one. So this was the older of the two, and Mental's known me long enough to know what was going through my mind, and he just basically said, here you go, have that. I know you're going to mod it, so let's get on with it. And then if they're any good, you can just do them to my one. So I was like, yeah, that's fair play. So yeah, so what I've done to it, well, you can see two little mods at the bottom there, the mesh pockets. So what I'll do is I'll just start at the bottom and work my way around, and then go up, and then I'll pause and I'll empty the rucksack out, and I'll show you what I've done on the inside. So both sides are an identical copy. So I've got a 2-litre US collapsible canteen in here, and I'll just put shock cord round the loop, sewed a little loop in here, and then put shock cord and a puller there to keep that in place. Yeah, so it's a big pocket there, and then there's like a pass-through pocket here on both sides. A little bit of mesh with a lanyard loop, same again on that side, so there's no point there. Inside there's 2 mesh pockets here, and then there's a pocket at the back, so I'll show you those in a bit. And then if I go up, there's a pouch under the lid. So that was a eBay find, 99p. The seller was getting rid of it because it had no molly straps on the back. So I've hand stitched that on there, and that is the outside of the rucksack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, and then I'll come back to you when everything's emptied and you can see the inside of the Bergen. Yeah, okay. Right, so that's the rucksack emptied. So to give you a rough idea, that is a old school Buffalo Super 6 with a poncho liner in it in a US Woodland Gary Gore-Tex. That is a Dutch Army DPM Bergen cover that just lives on this little D-ring here and then just sits inside the bottom, so when I need it I can just get to it easy. And then these are the two mesh pockets I sewed on there, and then there is a mesh pocket, well not a mesh pocket, there's a Cordura Danish M84 pocket there at the back. That's just sewn into the binding edging material, so I just thought, yeah, why not. And then that is a Dutch folding bowl and a casualty blanket, you know, those 5x7 things. So there's that, job done. That's the bottom. Then we have this pouch here, and then on the inside we've got this. So this is the original radio pocket, and you know, as I don't have a radio, I've just pulled it tight and just whiplashed it around there to stop it from opening up. I can undo the stitching if needs be, but it's neither here nor there. And I'm just using it as an admin pocket. So another bit of Danish M84, and that is tied in there. There's a little lanyard loop up there. That's the original piece of stub that was left over from the radio strap. So that's been sewn on there and there as a haul strap. Yeah, there's another D-ring attachment over there, and then I put a pocket inside the radio pocket at the back. Yeah, so this is just a little knickknacks, batteries, hand warmers, chem lights, etc. And how you gain access to that is you go through the radio zip pocket here that you can see. Yeah, so that's that. And then there's a mesh pocket here on the side. So I've copied ideas from other rucksack manufacturers. And then that is a US Marine Corps tarp basher shelter system, just to show you. Yeah, and then this side's got nothing on it, but I could put a pouch on there if I so wish. Yeah, and then on this side here you can just see it. So what I'll do is I'll spin the rucksack round, and that is one of those kind of pouches that hold those large basher shelter sheets that you can get on Amazon, Temu, AliExpress. Paid 25p for that at a prepper meet, and then I just thought, yeah, I'll use it in here. So I've sewn it in, and it's with maps, paperwork, etc. Yeah, and that is it. And then I've put a Velcro strap holder on here and the two straps for the lid. So that is my take on the US Marine Corps FILBE. So yeah, anything else I'll do to it, I'll bring it back to it, but at the minute that is it. So anyway, this is Viking Mitch signing